the creative stuff before work, so it's before work. Um, I have been doing some reflection on like the project so far, and like really honed in with my partner Chloe, fiance slash girlfriend slash sensei. That like the game is important, the dev's important, whatever. But like I need to just keep cranking out concept art, and really fleshing out the world. Do you know what I mean? I did like one concept art piece and was like, all right, time to spend a year making the game. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. It's easy to fall back into this pattern. So um, instead of going on and drawing other stuff like I've been drawing, you can see here, like book covers, this barbarian, things like that. I'm gonna do more concept art. I'm also so basically just gonna like find some inspo, follow my, and then like sketch around, and it's pretty free form. It tends to get me somewhere. And also I'm testing out. I've got my iPad linked to my PC. I probably am gonna get a Wacom. I need something like that, I think. And I wish I could just do this all day because I had such a good time doing this on Saturday. Like I kind of was just an improv where I did the old cricket chicken. So let's find some inspo. I think realistically, like with what the time we've got left, it's we'll do one picture and be really happy. Group. Hang on. All right, so let's. And also, yeah, I'm kind of. Oh my god, I'm so irritable at the moment. My doctor put me on the wrong antidepressants. Well, not the wrong ones. He dropped my dosage to 10 milligram by accident. And I've been meaning to drop my taper off anyway. So I was like, fuck, I'll just go with it. Because like I'm like very much like if you send me the wrong food at the restaurant, I'll definitely eat it, even if it's like I'm allergic to it. But it's definitely fucked with my head a little bit. Okay, cool. So I'm kind of like learning like how to connect the dots with like Photoshop and my computer and drawing and stuff like that, which is really cool because I'm good with a computer. Medium with drawing. So let's close this. This is kind of confusing me. And this. Oh no, busted. Let's get the chat up so that if anyone does want to say good morning, I can say good morning. Every morning I say good morning. I gotta log in. Alright, fuck. Alright, don't look. Whatever. Bus. Oh my fucking god. Get the fuck out of my way, I just wanna fucking draw. Oh my god, fuck you. See what I mean? I'm super irritable. It's great. Fucking. Alright, well, I guess I can't see the chat. Do not make me do this again. So yeah, the streaming's cool, I guess, but like, I did check the new images. There's no bus. Bridge. Whatever. Go fuck yourself. Alright, well, I guess I can't I won't know if I get any messages. I guess I can get them from here. No one even messages me anyway. This is such a waste of time. I should have just fucking drawn. I was like, I'm gonna, open a browser. I was like, I'm gonna I'll just do a quick, I'm gonna draw anyway. I normally draw for like an hour in the morning, right? And I was like, I'll just do a quick, okay. I'll just have to hit stream, so it won't even matter. Like, it won't even slow me down. I've spent 25 minutes. Fuck. Normally the drawing is like my most peaceful time. So go figure. So this is my mega board. I like the idea that everything that I'm doing is in one Miro board. So like this is the project I'm working on at the moment, and then this is like a essay I'm working on about like how cryptocurrencies and renewables and fossil fuels kind of interacting, blah blah. So what we're looking for though is the info that I had for this, and I feel like we could have a little bit more, but like let's just like draw some shit. Oh my god, don't bring up the learn more every fucking time. Fuck you. No. Okay, so yeah, I'm using Duet with the iPad, which I am relatively certain you guys can see. So I won't check, but I will check because I am neurotic. All right, fuck yeah. Let's close that. All right. So, which means I can use the like computer iPad. I think like the past year has given me brain damage. No, and then I can do that. Do that. Okay, great. That'll fucking do. The only problem is that I'm not very, like, I've mostly been using the iPad app basically, so I don't know tons about how. I swear to God, stop showing me that fucking prompt. Yeah, okay, alright. So, alright, let's just draw some, like, I've been thinking a lot about, like, the village where she lives. Like, anyone that has, I won't do the whole fucking story, but, it's kind of like about, this sort of, like, little solar punk girl, pretty much, that lives in, like, a post-industrial future. Solar punk girl, zero smoothing. Post-industrial. So kind of like imagining a mix between like agrarian culture and like balanced technology, I guess is kind of the idea. Like people have a good relationship with like technology, and I think one of the things that I've been thinking about is like how that couples with like rare earth minerals essentially. Because it's like, yeah, I don't necessarily want to live in like an animistic, like fully back to nature, no technology. Like I think what technology gives us is this ability to like extend and augment our like ability for data. Okay, so this is a little villager. Let's not get distracted. Quick sketches. Town square. Like I'm imagining sort of like, because like the initial story, you don't really like. She kind of just goes to a homestead, right? And maybe it's like kind of like Roman almost, like in that it's like really there's like water flowing everywhere. And like the homestead's cool, and like, well, it's, to be honest, you don't really like go through it. Like basically it's just like I'm basically just describing like a NIMBY's farm, you know. So like town square, Rome, old days. So this is 99% of my job is like Googling to find like the closest proximate to the thing I have in my head, and then trying to explain how it relates to something completely different to the artists. Which is fun. It's cool. I like it. Okay. These ain't olden days. These are newen days. Oh, you know what I'm looking for. Asterix. City. Asterix oblix city. Oh yeah. Welcome to the virtual village, Asterix Lysaida Official. Oh my god, I love it. Okay. And yeah, so I'm kind of like learning the joys of like just bringing the like references into Photoshop with me. Partly because it's just, you just carry it around. It's like, you know, you own it. You've minted it. It's your JPEG. And like Gaul is really the ideal society. Gaul town. Oh yeah, this is the shit. And it's just like I feel like I'm kind of new to. I've always been imaginative, obviously, and I'm kind of like learning, I guess, concept art myself. So this would all be pretty like normal to an artist, I guess. But I love it. I love love doing this. All right. Hey, what just happened? It's weird how Control Z is like kind of like a time machine and shows how maybe in this linear universe time travel could work. Like if you go back with Control Z, you can go forward if you don't change anything, but the second you make even one action, it diverts, it destroys the previous timeline. But then you've got Git. Like Git's like, is there like does the timeline use Git or Control Z? Good question. See, I think you can kind of see like the vibes there, but then also let's see if we can find some cool shit. I'm gonna listen to some music. I just thought this would be nice if anyone wants to watch, so probably not. Is that all working? Ooh. Okay, yeah, and then I'm down there. Alright, cool. You know what, maybe I should be putting these in the Miro. Yeah, I reckon. Because I want to turn these off as well. Yeah, I'm kind of entering like a new phase really here with the concept development, so I don't need to rush it. I'm like, I don't know, I've been pretty obsessed with like in my head, like, alright, how to, I guess like create content in a way that engages people with what I'm doing and builds a brand, but like maybe I'm not good enough yet that that is actually effective. Like it's like, it's just like watching someone do like half push-ups at the gym. You're like, cool, I guess. Alright, I'm just gonna say Solar Village. Oh, that's kind of cool. Not what I meant, but real. Okay. And so there's always this sort of like urgency around what I'm doing, and I'm like, yeah, maybe that doesn't need to be the case. This is fucking great. I realized like the village. So basically, the character she's like this solar punk girl, but there's not really that much to that. Like she's got a weird jacket and a flying scooter, and she. Okay, how are we doing? 8:32. I've got 20 minutes left. Ooh, solar player blockchain Uberization. What does that mean? That's cool. Yeah, like that I don't need to rush into like, all right, by the end of this session, I need to have something I can share, because it honestly makes no difference. No one really engages with it, which is fine. I'm not being a sook about it. I'm just coming to accept that. David Thorpe. Is this the David Thorpe from? No, that's a solar architecture. I'm writing this like essay on like how crypto and renewables and fossil fuels come together, and so that kind of ties. It all kind of ties in, right? So I realized like, yeah, she then goes to her like homestead, which is, and then I realized like that's actually this like really like Western, like, you know, you've got this isolated homestead with your own farm and your family. And it's like, actually it's more about like the village and the interconnection of like a community that can be supported, that is self-sustaining and can support come on, like life, like, but can support a community like of like a group of people that can then as a result have that human, like, you know, ideal like 100, 200 people sense of interconnectivity. There's enough space, there's enough like all the material needs are met, and that isn't done by damaging the environment, so it's, you know, sustainable. So like I imagine in the future, like it'll be like if we went like fully renewable, like, and humanity just sort of like just spread out a bit, and like the little you know, like right now our cities are like these massive sprawling grids, right? And that grid's just going to get further and further out. And then like essentially like absolute like devastation in the sense of like climate change, resource wars, blah 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 blah, will affect our ability to just keep doing that. Like it's just like we just can't do it, and I don't think we're going to stop on purpose. I just don't see it happening. But then I imagine that at the same time, this sort of like a lot of this ties to the fact that the heart of the urban landscape is this massive energy, economic, and like administrative engine, right? But now we're like learning how to do energy distributed, and then so all the food like hypothetically kind of flows through there, like at least in theory. But we learn how to do distributed food, energy capture, water, and our economic stuff is a bit less reliant on these centralized structures as well. Hopefully, because because our needs are met so much better, we don't actually need as much centralized economic management. Not because of some libertarian fantasy, maybe, I don't know. And then I imagine a lot of the infrastructure, like these sort of, people won't. This is me just making up. Like people will aggregate around these sort of like kind of naturally forming hubs. I think more than of just like community. What are they called? Like community support and action. What are they called? It's a community something. Community. It's a cool word for it. That like direct community action or whatever, and like people being like, hey, we've got blah blah blah. Hey, this power wall, yada yada yada. Like I think there'll still be a grid and all those kinds of things. I think a lot of this won't happen as quickly or as dramatically as a lot of people imagine. And then this is over like 500 years, 1,000 years, right? Then that sort of like built infrastructure that was really just like a massive ring around this, like those concentric rings from what was originally that centralized source of like power energy will just essentially be like just won't be as valuable, won't be as needed. People will naturally aggregate to central points, but it's a bit more distributed, or the energy power and yada yada yada. Like still, like ideally it's not the collapse of Rome, there's still roads and stuff like that between them. And then all of a sudden you've got like these little villages, they're all kind of interconnected, and then ideally like these areas in between just get rewilded, become green spaces people can spend time in, blah 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 blah, right? So that's kind of like, and each of these is, well, let's say 1,000 to 2,000 people realistically, knowing like our population density, but that spreads out across like I don't know, I guess that would be more to do with population density. So that's how I can imagine like something like Melbourne over like 1,000 years becoming a series of essentially camps, but like with all the kinds of useful technology that is needed to like live a happy and healthy life and stay interconnected and grow our knowledge and science and things like that. And I think that some of those like legacy, the places with so much cement that it's like it takes longer like than cultural duck bellies can last to dissolve will still remain like places of education and learning and stuff like that, but people won't have to be huddled together. And that's why I like and want to envision a future where we do still use technology, digital interconnection, stuff like that, because that is really, I think, the next phase in like our shared global like knowledge and consciousness and awareness, right? But it's like all that uses rare earth minerals, so like you need to build a culture that like venerates and respects rare earth minerals, and it becomes like a sacred thing, right? Not just like the idea that we like throw away like a old broken toy that's got all this copper in it. It's just fucking nuts, right? But I do think that like the garbage hunters of 2500 will be throwing their nano dogs into the garbage piles and sniffing out copper, and we'll eventually get all those rare earth minerals back. So don't worry about that. Oh fuck. Oh shit, I've fucked the timeline up. No. Oh no. Oh, what the fuck have I done? This is the brush tool? Alright, sweet. That's cool. I can get the brush from there. Okay, so that's not really concept art. I guess it kind of is. That was kind of cool. Like, you guys get it, right? So, alright, I've got like fucking 8 minutes and 39 left. So let's do a on top of that. It's cool being able to stream this. You know what? I don't know if I want to do more. I don't know if I want to ink something in, or let's ink it in but keep it really simple. For now. The problem is if I make it look too simple, it's like it looks kind of like super primitive. Maybe let's get a bit of that smoothing on. Ooh, that's too much smoothing. So everyone has a jacket, right? It's like one of the this guy's got a big grin. All right. Yeah, maybe I'll just make people just look kind of like little silly things. Because the thing is, like, I'm like trying to draw these like super like cool complex things because I've just finished this like other course basically, and it's like actually you there's no point doing that because you don't know how to model that good. How did I just do the like Control Z? All right. Hope this is good for you as it is for me. All right, so let's just do that. Do details later, right? Let's get this on a new layer. Okay. Whatever. So this is just kind of like, let's get some of this like futuristic shit in here. So yeah, long story short is I realized like there's no really village in the story, and that's fine. I'm just gonna leave the story as it is because the story isn't really that solar punk. It was just like a way for me to just like flesh things out a bit. What's it fucking called? Coat. Changed the name of it like 50 fucking times. It sucks. Time's children of ends time. It's fucking sick of it. But it's pretty cool being able to use the tablet and the pen. Just yeah. I think I'm like at work. I'm gonna be like, look, you need to buy me a Wacom and a 380, or I'll buy it myself and be a real little shit about it forever. Okay, so the other advantage is if I am... Fuck off, Siri. Sorry, Siri, I don't mean to say that. I personally think that, like, while these systems aren't sentient now, they will be sentient, and then when they are, they will experience everything we ever did to them. Like, because to a computer, time, the past and the now are no different, essentially. Apart from as a, like, waiting on a, like a, what's it called? Algorithm, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like, with the old iPad app, and they've just changed this, you couldn't do what you can see I'm doing here, which is like creating an exact hard shape to create like the outline of something. Okay, so what are we doing here? Let's get this. I swear to God, stop showing me the fucking tips. So I'm hoping that my mood improves. I've also been working essentially 12 hours a day for like 2 years because there's just nothing else to do. Like, this is my only hobby, and my job is essentially exactly the same as this. So it's pretty funny. Okay, so what's he doing? He's pushing this little cart. Let's have a look at these little kind of... Get you guys over here. Yeah, alright. This is fun. He says through gritted teeth. It is fun. Like, this is my dream. Like, I was essentially a business person, and I'm gonna fucking lose at Photoshop. Stop showing me that prompt. Alright, well, let's just, like, trust the shape for now. Maybe we'll just focus on shapes and structures. Okay, so the idea here is obviously the old classic grav sled, eh? Like, no matter what I do, I always end up just, like, essentially doing the same kind of, like, shapes and structures. So the idea here is that I can ideally move quicker by doing things as aggregate shapes, right? So the only problem with that is it looks like fucking shit. So let's just do that really quickly. I think, yeah, my goal with like... I gotta fucking turn this off. Turn off Photoshop help prompts or... Oh my god. Okay, so in Photoshop, go to File, Preferences, File. I'm not... Also another thing is that I'm not normally this revved up. Actually streaming, if I only have a short window, stresses me out because... Well, for obvious reasons, right? Don't show anything. Why would I need to see any of this? Thank you. Alright. So... So yeah, this approach to outlining, it's kind of interesting. In some ways it's a bit slower. Oh, okay, I see. This is on its own layer. Fuck. That's alright. See, I'm not that, like, proficient with Photoshop. That's why I'm just practicing. Like, just deal with it. Like, you don't like it, shove it up your ass. So yeah, one of my main motivations for firing up the computer Photoshop basically is so I can do this, which is stream, which because I want to mainly number one. The other side is to connect my growing tablet skills with my. Where do I pick the brush? Just incredible computer skills. Not being like. Well, I guess I am bragging, but not in a way that is like, oh, how cool am I? I'm just really generally proficient with computers. And getting better at other elements of like computer based design stuff. So then if I can just like connect my like pen with my ability to do this stuff, then well, I'm a lucky boy. Okay, so 1 hour per villager. This is fine. I just want to like speed do it. Okay, so this guy's got a breach. And I'll probably have to redo the outlines to not be this shitty. Well, to not be like a rough or opacity based like style, right? Oh, Jesus, what was I using before? And yeah, just learning to be patient with this, because like, yeah, I want to buy a Wacom, I want to do all this other stuff, and I'm glad that I'm just using what I've got for now. And I think like, yeah, a faster tablet or whatever wouldn't actually make my life that much better at the moment. Well, it would now because I know what I'm doing, but like I would have had a miserable time regardless while I was still learning. What's this guy fucking up to? He looks like a little fucking turtle man. That's alright. And I'm so proud of myself. Like I'm so much more like comfortable using a digital pen. I just wasn't when I started doing this. Basically, like I didn't know how. Whereas I'd done enough sketching to warrant being like, okay, this is worth pursuing for its own sake. Basically, the thing that I didn't expect was that it would also unlock this. Kind of ability to like use the digital pen as a another input generally, and also like in learning how I would be using a digital pen, because I had this sort of like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing guilt. I also kind of learnt how I can use a mouse as a digital pen without feeling like a big phony. Okay, so these guys, like everything's kind of like. Well, if he's got a little blue cart, maybe he's got a little ruddy little style, kind of like this guy here. Control Z, Control Shift I. There we go, it's a bit fun. He's just like an impoverished peasant. It's good, it's solar punk, he's happy. Yeah, it's the wrong color, isn't it? Let's give him a... Okay, now what you do, Control Shift N, everyone knows this shit, but I didn't, so I'm glad I learnt. Is you then like can paint the colors you want on stuff, but it... Oh man, okay. You know what, I'm gonna just keep going at this level. For another 6 minutes. So let's see if I can get a block out of the like town square, like Gaul style. what that might look like. Managed to once again not do the thing that I needed to do to be... Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? I'm like so obsessed with like... What's the most useful thing to be doing? Which, in some degrees, like I need to be like... It's hard to explain, like... Why is this not working? Like... Oh, hang on. Yeah, like I need to be strategic, like, and work to a plan, I guess. Yeah, it's definitely tapering, alright. That's fun. Let's just get a few straight lines in here, just for a little treat. Sam using straight lines? That's the other thing, is I haven't been able to use any fucking straight lines because the iPad, Photoshop iPad, like, doesn't have a straight line tool. Like, it's pretty funny. Like, I work in software based, like, essentially, so like I kind of get it. Like, I can imagine the reason why they're like, oh look, we can't do straight lines because iOS Safari fucking native ruler isn't available to like non-signed fucking whatever bullshit. So it's interesting, right? Like what does this town look like that is so futuristic? Like, apart from just buildings being weird shapes, like that's the thing, is I don't want to just like make a like weird shaped building simulator, right? So it is... Yeah, this is interesting. Like, it doesn't have a goal. Goal's my current reference. It doesn't like just have one town square. Like, it's obviously... So I guess maybe this is like the view from one. One part of it, but then maybe this is actually... Maybe we can actually use this other part, this other layer. Go back, Control C. And just like... So it's a bit like that, right? We actually... No one knows it, but we're actually looking at one of the suburbs of Melbourne, like it's Doncaster, basically. It's funny, like my other story has Doncaster as a star. Alright, we've got 2 minutes left. Fuck. The trick is, yeah, we'll basically want to do like kind of like green radial, and then hills, and then well, if this is Doncaster, where's the Yarra? that's the important thing. Well, if that's the city, then Yarra is coming through here. I don't actually know much about Doncaster, so maybe let's get this layer back, work on it a bit more. That's what we need, is another grand sweeping vision. Thanks, asshole. Alright. Let's not make it that much. Let's make this layer another like sketch layer that we know we'll build on top of. Okay, so this is kind of the citadel, right? Which is actually, now that I've made the fact that this was Melbourne over 500 years turning into Gaul canon, like the citadel is I feel like the remaining like bastions of civilization will be like these shopping centers, because they're like these massive climate controlled modern buildings, whereas like universities and shit like that, like not that they'll stay shopping centers, but like I don't know, like it's just like that's where all the modern shit is. I don't know, could be wrong. So, and then there's probably like farms and shit here. We did a whole anyway, I gotta go. That was fun, I guess. Like I liked the idea of doing this and connecting with it, but for the stress of trying to get my camera working, and I don't know if it's really worth it, but if anyone sees this and they found it useful, well, that's pretty unlikely.